Hey, I'm Mitch Gallagher from Sweetwater, joined by my good friend Corey Congilio. It's
Hey,
great to have you
Mitch.
here, man. Good to see you.
Awesome to be here. Thank
Always
you.
a pleasure when you come to visit us and we get a chance to sit down and chat a little bit.
Oh man, right back at you.
Yeah, so I got to throw something out to you.
Okay.
You're of course, renowned teacher with everything that you do and your books and all the things you've written. And those books will lead people to develop their playing, and along the way, maybe they'll have some moments where things will be like that light bulb moment or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, I want to ask you, has there ever been an aha moment in your past, whether it was gear or music theory or just technique or whatever it might have been, that really changed everything for you?
There's a lot, actually.
Yeah.
On the gear side, when I moved to Nashville, it was really understanding how great players got great guitar sounds, and making the amp really open up and work for you, and not having pedals upon pedals really suffocate your tone, but having the pedals elevate your sound. That was always a really, really big thing. And once I figured that out, I would have people come up to me saying, "Oh, your tone is so great," and I'm like, "It's just the amp with a little extra something,
Right.
But as I kind of transitioned from playing country rock and stuff in that world, I wanted to get back to my improvising roots, and because I was always just a fan of the great fusion players and the great blues players, and like we talked about Robin Ford and people, Larry Carlton, who we talked about
Sure.
today. Those guys are who I looked up for, really just spoke through their instrument. And when I really started applying my arpeggios, to my improvising as opposed to just scale playing, it really opened up the guitar for me in a new way, and it made me sound less scaly, which
Yeah.
is still good, but it gave me more options.
Right.
And it just something I continue to develop to this day, and I continue to teach it, and I continue to develop my teaching on it, because there's so many fun things you can do, and a lot of my students know me for teaching the dominant 7 arpeggio stuff all the time, whereas when you're playing over a chord like that, we can do that, but when we do this, we have some more interesting notes. And that spoke to me a lot more. And as I started to do it with not only dominant stuff, but minor 7s, that started to make more sense. And as I learned major 7s and minor 7 flat 5, then I started to hear about, oh, well, you can substitute those for other things. So all of these different sounds started being little light bulbs, not just one big light bulb. you
Right,
know?
right.
Like if you're taking a dominant 7 chord, like an A7, I love playing a minor 7 arpeggio off of the 5th. So that
Okay.
would be an E minor 7. But then bring it back home to what your ear knows, which is your pentatonic and your dominant stuff like that.
Right.
So those were my aha moments. Arpeggios, and then taking them a step further.
Right. And then, of course, you don't have to just play up the arpeggio, down the arpeggio. Those are additional note choices that you can aim for
Definitely.
as you're phrasing.
Yeah, and you can have a really cool funky groove going, and you can approach it from the 3rd, the 5th, the flat 7. And then you bring it home, and it's this beautiful marriage of sounds that I just can't get enough of,
Right,
And
right.
you can do that in all of the fun, more extended versions of it as well, whether you're doing that substituting stuff. So you're right, for sure.
Opens up a whole new world to you.
It really does.
That was the aha moment.
That was my
for
aha
Corey.
moment.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing with us.
Of course, Mitch, anytime.
Great to see you, buddy.
Likewise.
And thank you for joining us today. I'm Mitch Gallagher from Sweetwater.